Well, a very good Tuesday morning to you, Kentuckiana. We're glad you're joining us. I'm Grace McKenna.
And I'm Jim Stratman for stepping in for what is set to be another perfect spring day outside. Julie Martin joining us in studio again. Julie, I could get very used to what today is going to be.
I think we all could, yes. We're in for a treat today and tomorrow. Temperatures are going to be climbing up above average, and we'll have plenty of sunshine out there as well. Right now, we're sitting at 53 at the airport, 47 at Bowman. Our winds are calm, and there are a few clouds hanging around out there, and they're going to be moving on out of here, but no rain expected throughout the day today. We'll see clear skies really develop as we get into the afternoon hours, and it should be really just a gorgeous, gorgeous spring day out there. Climbing all the way up to 77 degrees with a light wind. Our average 72, so we'll be a few degrees above average. Really, most of us throughout Kentuckiana will be at least at or above average today. We're looking at 77 here in the metro as we cross over to Indiana, looking at 73 here in Salem and 74 in Bedford. In general, mid-70s really all across the region, so a great day out there. And the lows overnight are going to be nice and mild as well. Calm skies out there tonight, dipping back down to around 50 degrees in general. So with that being said, we do have some rain expected to move in later on this week, starting on Thursday afternoon and into Friday. Friday will be the bigger day for rain and possibly some strong storms as well. I'll detail all of that coming up in your full forecast, and that is coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Julie, thank you. Today, we're going to learn more about the cleanup progress down at Waterfront Park. Mayor Craig Greenberg will share details during his weekly press briefing. He'll also touch on cleanup efforts citywide. The waterfront recently reopened after all of that destructive flooding we saw earlier this month. The mayor says after similar major floods in 2018, it took about 6 weeks to get the city back to normal. Today's announcement is at 10 on the Great Lawn.
We now know the name of the Metro police officer who shot and killed a man in the Crescent Hill neighborhood. According to the LMPD, Officer Benjamin Klingenfuss shot a man on Arterburn Avenue Saturday afternoon. Police say that officers received calls for an intoxicated man who was yelling at neighbors in that area. And when police arrived, they say that officers tried to detain the man, but a struggle broke out, and that suspect stabbed an officer in his bulletproof vest before Klingenfuss shot him. LMPD's policy means that Klingenfuss and the other officers involved in the incident have been placed on paid administrative leave.
Happening today, there is a hearing set for former Scott County Sheriff Kenneth Eubanks. Indiana State Police arrested Eubanks last Thursday for tax evasion, accusing him of failing to report income for 3 years, including over $125,000 taken from his godmother while she suffered from dementia. Eubanks is being prosecuted by the same special prosecutor in the case against former Clark County Sheriff Jamie Knoll. He also faces felony charges for failing to collect sales tax and provide business records tied to sales through a building he owned in Scottsburg and on Facebook Marketplace. Eubanks is out of jail after posting a $5,000 bond. He's expected in court at 1:30 today.
No phones in class. That is the message from Kentucky lawmakers after they passed a brand new bill this session to ban cell phone usage in schools.
Yeah, but how that looks in each classroom is going to depend on individual districts and even individual schools. WHAS11's Alex Dieter and photojournalist Emma Gefter heard JCPS leaders' plans for the ban.
Suspicious, honestly.
No cell phone use in school. Kentucky lawmakers passed the bill this legislative session, leaving the decision of how to implement the ban up to the school districts. So, for the state's largest school district, JCPS is leaving the implementation of the ban up to the individual schools, who will each assemble a committee.
Composed of teachers, administrators, others working in the building, to come up with a policy that actually gets rid of cell phones.
What if something happened and I need to get to a cell phone if an adult or a supervisor is not around? And something happened to me, I can just dial 911.
Heavenly Garth, a senior at the academy at Shawnee, has concerns over the policy.
I got high blood pressure and I have pre-eclampsia because of my child. So I can drop at any moment.
The bill does have exemptions for emergencies and medical needs.
It's 2025. Cell phones are not going away, and we know how they're interfering with instruction time.
A policy that reflects the times. A study done by the Pew Research Center found that 72% of U.S. high school teachers say cell phone distraction is a major problem in the classroom.
In my school, people don't be on a phone in class.
Superintendent Dr. Marty Polio said that they will track the success rate of the school's implementation of the policy, and the main measurable of that success will be sentiment.
Surveying principals to say, how are you doing this? Is it effective? What do we need to give you that would help you better? Those type of things.
If a student doesn't follow the policy, they could lose the privilege of bringing their phone to school, be reported to their guardian, or have their phone confiscated. The policy is set to go into effect at the beginning of next school year. Alex Dieterer, WHAS11 on your side.
The JCPS board plans to vote on the cell phone policy at its next meeting on April 29th.
3 teenagers saved a man after he drove off the Greenwood boat ramp last night. That is according to the LMPD. It all happened around 6:30 after the man suffered a possible medical emergency and drove his car into the Ohio River. 3 teenage boys who were fishing on the river saw what happened. 2 of them dove into the water and pulled that driver from the car, while another tied a rope to the vehicle and a tree to try to keep it from floating away. The man was taken to the hospital, and police say the teen's quick actions saved that man's life.
A man and an 8-year-old girl are dealing with serious injuries after 2 dogs attacked them. It happened around 7 last night at a home on 17th and Lee Streets in the Algonquin neighborhood. Metro Police say the man and little girl had been bitten several times. An officer shot and killed one of the dogs on scene. The other one was shot by another officer nearby. Both victims were taken to the hospital. The man had injuries so severe that some are critical, and the little girl also had serious injuries. Police located the owner of the dogs and say Metro Animal Services is now investigating.
The Archdiocese of Louisville will hold a special Mass of Thanksgiving for the life of Pope Francis today. According to the Vatican, the leader of the Catholic Church died yesterday from a stroke and cardiovascular arrest. He was 88 years old. Today's special Mass is going to be held at the Cathedral of the Assumption downtown. Archbishop Shelton Farber will lead the service and deliver the homily. That Mass is set to start at 6 o'clock tonight.